Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Montana State University Billings 87th Annual Commencement Ceremony. Our academic procession passes through the Ivy Guard and Honor Guard of current students at the university. Please rise for the presentation of colors by students from the MSU Billings ROTC program. Second Lieutenant Brian Anderson, Second Lieutenant Adam Summers, Cadet Nicole Farrell, and Cadet Judy Everett. The procession begins with a platform party led by the Grand Marshal, Randall Schmitz, and the faculty and administrators led by Faculty Marshal Jay Shaw. The class of 2014 is led by Senior Marshals Quincy Linhart and Jeffrey Wilkins. Ladies and gentlemen, the City College at Montana State University Billings, under the leadership of Dean Marsha Riley. The College of Arts and Sciences, under the leadership of Dean Tasneem Khalil. And now the College of Business under the leadership of Dean Barbara Wheeling. The College of Allied Health Professions under the leadership of Dean Diane Doohan. The College of Education under the leadership of Dean Mary Susan Fishbaugh. The candidates for master degrees under the leadership of Interim Director of Graduate Studies, Dr. David Craig. Our invocation this morning will be presented by Reverend Rob Kirby, followed by the national anthem performed by Marshall Pluhar.
I offer today's invocation and benediction in celebration of the many paths through which our students, faculty, staff, and guests find meaning in life. Whether we understand this to be in the mystery of God, in the beauty of nature, in the elegance of science or art, or in acts of service and justice for all creation, I invite you to open your hearts with me this day. Source of all life, spring of inspiration, God, we gather this day with grateful hearts for knowledge that has been gained, intellects that have been sharpened, and vision that has been focused. At this singular moment, in the fullness of time, we pause. Between these years of study and future lives of service, we pause. In a celebratory mood of broad accomplishment and heartfelt pride, we pause. We pause to acknowledge that we have not, cannot, and must not do it alone. Instead, we recognize that we are entwined in a beautiful web of interconnectedness. We give thanks for the multitude of individuals and institutions that have made this moment possible, for family and friends, teachers and mentors, schools, clubs, and teams, and for all the sources of inspiration that have helped us in subtle and mighty ways. We give thanks. We welcome a spirit of gratitude and unity as these students walk onto the stage to receive their degrees. We invite a spirit of aspiration and excellence as they walk off the stage into lives that will transform this world. May it be so. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, give proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Saint us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Students, please face the podium.
please help me please help me thank our color guard, who are members of our MSU Billings ROTC program. Please be seated. There are few earthly things more beautiful than a university. It is a place where those who hate ignorance may strive to know, where those who perceive truth may strive to make others see, where seekers and learners alike, bonded together in the search for knowledge, will honor thought in all its finer ways, will welcome thinkers in distress or exile, will uphold ever the dignity of thought and learning, and will exact standards in all of these. Welcome to the 87th commencement of Montana State University Billings. I'm Rolf Groseth, Chancellor at MSU Billings. In 1927, Eastern Montana Normal School admitted over 150 students in its first class. This year, we enrolled nearly 5,000 students, and today, we are graduating 915 students in the class of 2014. Graduates come from 5 colleges of the university: the College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Education, the College of Business, City College, and the College of Allied Health Professions. To those of you who graduate today, my heartfelt congratulations. To all the parents, spouses, families, relatives, and friends who are with us for this graduation ceremony, I offer the university's appreciation for the important role you have played in bringing the education of these graduates to this point. An event like this does not happen without careful planning, and I'd like to recognize the people who planned this event: Heather Eggum, Marilyn Warren, Aaron Klinging-Smith, Jason McGimsey, Sherry Johannes, the staff of the Admissions and Records Office, the staff of Jackets and Company, our bookstore, Facility Services, University Police, staff of the Chancellor's Office, and the Commencement Committee. Also, thanks to all who worked so hard setting up, arranging, decorating Metrapark for our enjoyment today, and to our county commissioners for this wonderful facility. Will you please stand for a moment and join me in honoring our men and women who have given their lives or who have been wounded while serving our country in the military or as first responders. Ask for a speedy and safe return for those who remain in harm's way. Join me now in a moment of silence as we honor these men and women and consider their service protecting our freedom. Thank you. Will you please be seated? I would like to call to the podium Dr. Mark Pagano, Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs at MSU Billings. Mark?
Thank you, Chancellor, and good morning. Today we gather for one of the oldest secular ceremonies in Western civilization, the conferring of academic degrees as a symbol of intellectual attainment. The robes we wear link today's ceremony with its medieval past and reminds us of the importance of higher education. Joining us in these ceremonies, it is always a pleasure to have on our platform as our distinguished guest representatives of state and educational institutions. This morning it is my pleasure to introduce our platform party. Please hold your applause until they have all been introduced. And I would like the individuals, as they are introduced, to stand and remain standing until everyone on the platform has been introduced. In the back row from your right, first, Professor Sue Hart, to be awarded Professor Emeritus of English, Montana State University Billings. Mr. Jay Shaw, to be awarded Professor Emeritus of Health and Human Performance, Montana State University Billings. Dr. David Craig, the Interim Director of Graduate Studies, Montana State University Billings. Mr. Ryan Shore, the President of the Associated Students of Montana State University Billings. Ms. Sarah Brockle, the Director, Alumni Relations, Montana State University Billings. Mr. Chuck Wendt, President and CEO of the Montana State University Billings Foundation. Mr. Bruce Brumley, Chair, Academic Senate, Montana State University Billings. Reverend Rob Kirby, from the Office of United Campus Ministries, Montana State University Billings. Ms. Amy D'Amato, from the Office of the Commissioner of Higher Education, and one of this year's Montana State University Billings graduates. Dr. Cheryl Johannes, the Director of Admissions and Records and Registrar of Montana State University Billings. And Mr. Aaron Klingensmith, the Director of University Relations, Montana State University Billings, and name reader for today's ceremony. In the front row from your right, Dr. Mary Susan Fishbaugh, the Dean, College of Education. Dr. Barbara Wheeling, the Dean, College of Business. Dr. Tasneem Khalil, the Dean, College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Diane Doohan, the Dean, College of Allied Health Professions. Dr. Marsha Riley, the Dean, City College. Mr. Norman Clark, the guest speaker for today's ceremony. Dr. Rolf Grosef, our esteemed Chancellor of Montana State University Billings. Ms. Janie Drange Grosef, the beautiful wife of the Chancellor of Montana State University Billings. Regent Major Robinson, member of the Board of Regents of Montana University System. And Ms. Terry Iverson, the Vice Chancellor for Administration and Finance, Montana State University Billings. Please join me in recognizing this year's distinguished platform party with a round of applause. I would now like to call upon Mr. Ryan Shore, the President of MSU Billings Associated Students. Platform party, please be seated.
Well, I'm supposed to give you a commencement address here, but before I start, I want to invite Dr. Chancellor Rolf Grosef and Janie up here with me, please. Now, as I said in a leadership banquet earlier last month, saying goodbye is difficult. And these two have played a huge role in our lives as MSU Billings students. And first of all, Janie, you have been an inspiration, not only on campus, but in our community. And you're a trusted friend to everyone you meet. And I appreciate your service to the MSU system and MSU Billings. And I want to give you this corsage to add to the beauty that Mark described earlier. It's like I'm in prom all over again. Should do it better this time. And Rolf, a true champion of our students, you've made life so much easier on campus for everybody. The participation of students, faculty, and staff in our community has never been stronger, and your leadership has given us clear direction. And we appreciate everything you've done for every single one of us. We know that you've done it in a selfless manner, and I can't say we appreciate you enough. And Janie, I'm gonna let you go ahead and pin this boutonniere on Rolf, because otherwise his life will be in danger if I do.
So he can be more beautiful.
I'm going to ask everybody to please rise and recognize our Chancellor, Rolf Groseth, and his wife, Janie. Thank you so much. All right, well, let's get to it. Good morning, class of 2014. Congratulations, you are here. Your confidence, your diligence, and your perseverance has brought you to this point. And let's not forget that your family, your friends, your faculty, staff, administrators, and mentors have been the catalysts of support that you needed to be here today. Let's give them a hand. You have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that hard work can and it will pay off eventually. And even though we're at this point in our lives, I've gone through a year where I've talked to the 2014 graduates, and I've had these feelings expressed to me of fear, doubt, sometimes an uncertainty of what's next. And big changes in our lives can sometimes cause those fears and cause those uncertainties. What I want to tell you about today is that you don't have to worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow can take care of itself. You see, you've made the investment over the last few years to lay a foundation and pave a road that will move you forward to future successes. And you've proven just by being here, sitting here today, that the actions you take for today can determine the amount of success that you get to experience for tomorrow. When you walk out of these doors, baby, you're on the next level. You're going to a new level, new heights, new places. You're taking everything that you've learned in the investment of education and applying it with a well-equipped mind to go out and change the world. And I mean that literally. You see, every day I wake up, I have a quote on my bedroom door, and I have it on my office door at the school. And it's by our 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. He stated it best by saying, "The best part about the future is it comes one day at a time." We all have one day to deal with everything that comes at us. You see, the only thing we can do about tomorrow is be able to set ourselves up better each and every day we wake up. And what I want you to know is this is your day. This is your time. So let's rephrase the doubt and the anxiety and the questions of what's next And let's start asking, are you ready? And I don't mean you guys sitting down here. I'm talking to the community up in these seats. Billings, are you ready? Montana, are you ready? United States of America, are you ready for the swarm of yellow jackets that is going to head out these doors in just a couple hours? So a little bit of audience participation, yellow jackets. I'm going to ask you, are you ready? I want you to say, I'm ready. Are you ready? Not good enough. Are you ready? Chancellor Groseth, faculty, and staff, I believe they are ready. Congratulations of class of 2014. Class is dismissed.
Thank you, President Shore. I don't think there's any doubt now that this is your day. Well, now it is my pleasure to invite Regent Major Robinson, who will deliver greetings on behalf of the Montana Board of Regents. Major Robinson.
Thank you, Provost Pagano. And thank you, Mr. Shore. Let me know when your campaign launches. I will be there. I'm ready. I'd like to say good morning on the behalf of the Office of the Commissioner of Higher Education, Commissioner Clayton Christian, and the Montana University System Board of Regents. It is my sincere privilege to welcome our guests in honoring the 2014 degree candidates of Montana State University Billings. I wish to thank all of you graduates of the 87th Annual Montana State University Billings Commencement Celebration. Congratulations for a job well done. Before I continue, I do want to express a special thank you to Chancellor Groseth for your years of service to our students, for your years of service to our university system, and for playing a part in making Montana State University Billings the fine institute that it is today. Thank you very much. And I wish you and Janie great adventures as you continue on. Pivawona, watom, ipivishiv. That one's kind of hard to translate, but I'll tell you about that one. Good morning. Welcome. It's a good day. I said in my native Cheyenne language that I wish you well here and welcome to this ceremony. Besides being on the Board of Regents, I'm also a Northern Cheyenne tribal member. I'm a husband, a father of 3, a brother of 9, and a business owner. I live on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation with my wife, Michelle, Jorian, Kira, my daughters, and my son, Colton. Now, I wanted to start with also saying good morning, proud parents. Good morning, grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, wives, husbands, sons and daughters, friends, and dedicated faculty and staff. Thank you for being a part of such a special occasion today. You know, I can truly say that this is the best part of my job as a regent, to be able to be here today to share in this momentous occasion with you all. It's truly inspiring to all of us. Now, graduates, you may think that you are special today, and you are. Each of you worked hard and met the challenges of your college career head on. You did it with determination and courage, and at times luck. By luck, I don't mean you were given shortcuts or handouts. Your luck was to have family members or friends who were supportive, empathetic, or just there at the right time. Perhaps your good fortune was a certain professor or campus staff member who always seemed to provide the right kind of calm reassurance at just the right time. I imagine some of these family members, friends, faculty, and staff members are here today. Remember to let them know how much you appreciate them helping you achieve your dream today. It is also important to remember those who were with you when you started, but aren't sitting here today. You are special, and you deserve to know that on this day. Yet, as you complete this chapter of your life and begin another, I ask one simple favor from you. Remember those that started with you but did not yet graduate for one reason or another. I ask you to find a way to reach out to them and encourage them to step back in and finish what they began, so that they might one day sit in that very same chair and understand the feeling of having completed this. Like you, they too deserve it. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge one of your fellow colleagues who deserves special recognition for the personal sacrifices she made to be here today. Her name is Amy D'Amato, and she sits with us here on the platform. While completing her undergraduate degree in business, Ms. D'Amato, a native of Helena, also maintained her full-time job as executive assistant to the Commissioner of Higher Education. By persevering through the many challenges of balancing her personal and professional life, along with her academic aspirations, she showed us all today we can attain that which we set our sights on. Thank you, Amy. In closing, I sense great accomplishments ahead for all of you from this very special class of graduates. If you continue to pay attention to your dreams and remember what and whom it took for you to get here today, and remember to pay it forward to those who deserve to be here in the years to come, great things are in store for you. Now I leave you with these few borrowed words. Everyone has inside of her or him a piece of good news. The good news is that you don't know how great you can be, how much you can love, and what you can accomplish, and what your potential is. How wonderful that no one need wait a single moment to improve the world. Anne Frank. Go make the world even better, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Robertson, for those insightful and inspiring words. Now I'd like to call upon Ms. Sarah Brockle, the Director of Alumni Relations at Montana State University Billings, for her welcome.
class of 2014, and fellow alumni of MSU Billings. Commencement's one of my very favorite days of the year, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to share this day with you and welcome you to the MSU Billings Alumni Association. Each of you has had an impact on the MSU Billings community, and MSU Billings will never be the same. And you will never be the same because of your experiences at MSU Billings. You learned lessons in and out of the classroom, and all of those lessons will help guide you in your future endeavors. Your involvement in the MSU Billings campus community doesn't end here. You are transitioning from students to alumni, but remember, you'll be Yellow Jackets forever. Upon completing your program of study, you're automatically inducted into the MSU Billings Alumni Association. We ask that wherever you go, you stay in touch and involved with MSU Billings. You are now connected to us, and we are proud of what you have and will accomplish. With over 20,000 members of the Alumni Association worldwide, you're likely to find MSU Yellow Jackets wherever you go. We thank you in advance for the great things you're going to accomplish. You make all of us incredibly proud, and you make us better.
Thank you, Ms. Brockel. And now I'd like to welcome our Chancellor, Rolf Grosef, back up to the stage to introduce our commencement speaker. Chancellor?
Norm Clark is a journalist. He's on the staff of the Las Vegas Review-Journal. And he began where all great journalists begin as an assistant part-time sports writer for the Terry Tribune. Norm was born in Terry, graduated from Terry High School. After his stint at the Terry Tribune, he moved on to staff positions in Miles City, in Helena, in Billings, and in 1973, he was hired by the Associated Press to staff its Cincinnati office as a sports writer, covering particularly baseball, where the Cincinnati Reds won 2 consecutive world championships. He transferred to San Diego with the Associated Press in 1979 as AP's first Southern California roving reporter. He was AP's coordinator of reporting for the 1984 Olympics. After the Olympics, he joined the Rocky Mountain News and was the main reporter on that city's bid to land a Major League Baseball franchise, which of course they have. He broke that story in June of 1991 and was named the paper's Reporter of the Year. In '99, he joined the Las Vegas Review-Journal as a man-about-town columnist, which in Las Vegas, I guess, gives you quite a bit of license. His stories on which he broke the news were on Britney Spears' wedding and its dissolution 55 hours later. And he has been voted the Review-Journal's Reporter of the Year in Las Vegas for the last 2 years. A journalist is hard work. Being a journalist is hard work, like all of our jobs. What comes onto the page leaves a lot behind, a lot of work behind, a lot of words behind, and those who can craft words beautifully are few and far between in this world. And it's our pleasure to welcome Norm Clark to the podium to give an address to our graduates. Norm?
It's good to be home. And I'm here on what would be my mother's 92nd birthday. That makes all this so meaningful. Chancellor Groseth, Dr. Pagano, members of the Platform Party. The Eastern Montana College I knew back so many years ago has grown into such a vibrant and dynamic member of the university system. MSUB is so fortunate to have the vision and dedication you all have provided. I'm so happy to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity to celebrate with the class of 2014 and all of you. And to my family and my longtime Montana friends, thanks for being here for me. Not just for today, but over all these many years. I love you guys. And most of all, I'm grateful to all of you for allowing me to share my life with you as you begin your next chapter. I wouldn't trade anything for the experience of growing up in Eastern Montana. One of my early life experiences was getting my first job. I was a newspaper delivery boy. I learned responsibility during those long walks through snow-covered, frosty streets. If I gave up, I wouldn't get paid. I'm glad I didn't give up, because that's when I fell in love with words and newspapers. Whether it was one block, one house between the deliveries, I read every word in the Miles City Star as I walked my route. My mind often wandered to my favorite subject, sports, especially the Olympics. While I was delivering those papers, I would carry a long stick with me as protection for the occasional cranky dog. I found myself using that stick to etch the Olympic rings into the snow. It was clear I felt the Olympics were the ultimate dream. What's your dream? Sometimes in the moment, we don't realize what our dreams are. Simple doodlings and drawing circles in the snow are really seeds being planted. So don't brush them off as, oh, I was just daydreaming. They will lead you to a bigger purpose. One of my biggest regrets is that I didn't stay in college. I dropped out of what was then Northern Montana College, now MSUN. I looked for work wherever I could find it in my hometown of 600 people. When I was 20, I got a steady job at the local grocery store. Instead of delivering papers, I was delivering bags of groceries. About 5 months into that job, I got the break of a lifetime. One of my duties was to deliver the weekly ad from the grocery store. I had to take it over to the Terry Tribune. Near the end of the basketball season, while I was delivering the ad, I was so excited about my hometown team's chances that I asked the editor if he planned to go to the tournament in Baker. He said he wasn't much of a sports fan and suggested, "Why don't you cover the tournament?" I remember thinking, this can't really be happening, but I didn't hesitate for a second. I said, "Damn right." And my Terry Terriers won the tournament on a miraculous half-court shot. A couple days later, I delivered the article to the editor. He gave it a quick read and reached for his checkbook. As soon as I got out, I pulled out the check. I couldn't wait to see how much I got paid for my first professional assignment as a sports writer. It was for the princely sum of $5. It was the best payday of my life, because in that moment, I realized I could do what I loved and get paid for it. 4 years later, right here in Billings, I had become one of the Gazette's youngest sports editors at the age of 25. But after 5 years in that job, for some reason, I was questioning myself. I wondered if I would look back in 10, 20 years and regret that I played it safe. It was really a big decision for me. One night, I asked God for guidance. I prayed for a sign. I hoped I would wake up to a revelation, but there was no revelation. God probably had bigger issues on his plate. So I sat down to read the Gazette, hoping I might find the sign in that day's paper. I read every story, every headline, every classified ad, searching for the sign. I turned back to the front page, and then it happened. I looked at the date. It was March 4th, but I read it as March, F-O-R-T-H. I knew what I had to do. I was going to march forth fearlessly. I realized that dreams aren't necessarily forever. If we march forth fearlessly, we can have a series of dream jobs. So I left the Gazette and traveled through Europe for nearly 3 months. I slept on a bed of leaves on the banks of the Rhone River in France. I saw the Pope in Rome. I marveled at the cathedrals from Barcelona to Vienna. I lived on cheese and wine. I spent my life savings, but it was worth every penny. On my way back to Montana, I stopped in Cincinnati to see a friend who worked for the Associated Press. My timing was perfect. He was looking for a reporter with sports background, and he had me at hello. What an incredible opportunity, right? There I was, covering the Cincinnati Reds, Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan, less than a year after getting the sign. But within months, I was wavering. I was homesick for Montana. And to be honest, I was feeling a little in over my head with some of the stories I had to cover, like the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, or writing about hog bellies and tobacco crops when I came from wheat and cattle country. One day I received a small box from Montana. Inside was an old-fashioned scroll, you know, like they used in biblical times. When I held it up, it just kept falling. There were hundreds of names. And, there were hundreds of names of friends and strangers on a 6-foot-long sheet of paper. When I started reading it, it seemed like everyone in my home county and neighboring towns had written encouraging notes like, "Make us proud," and "We're so happy for you," and "Go for it." At that moment, the self-confidence and resolve I had lost was restored. I've never forgotten how much that meant to me, how much it changed my life. At some time, you will go through challenging times. It's important to remember those who stood by you. Take a minute and think about what names would be on your scroll. Family, friends, teachers, counselors, coaches. Would your name be on someone's scroll? Remember me saying life can be a series of dream jobs? Well, after 6 years in Cincinnati, out of the blue, the sports editor of AP called and offered me the position as their coordinator of the 1984 Los Angeles Summer Olympics. Remember those Olympic rings? My mind immediately flashed back to that cold night in Terry when I was drawing those circles in the snow. I dreamed it, I visualized it, and it happened. My dream came true. Why can't yours? It can, if you march forth fearlessly. After the LA Games, what could I possibly do once I had realized my childhood dream of being part of the Olympics? Well, I moved to Denver to join one of the last great newspaper wars. The Rocky Mountain News hired me to beat the other paper with the news that Denver was getting a Major League Baseball team. And I did. To this day, that remains the biggest story of my career and my proudest moment. And guess what happened next? I couldn't help myself when the bright lights of Las Vegas called. People ask how I went from covering sports in Denver to covering celebrities in Las Vegas. Well, that seed was planted right here in Montana. I was 10 years old when my parents announced we were going to the Eastern Montana Fair in Miles City to see the singing cowboy, Gene Autry. Think of Tim McGraw singing on his horse and making hit Western movies, and you've got Gene Autry. I couldn't wait to see my first celebrity, and I wanted to be as close as possible. So I asked my mother if I could leave the grandstand and go down to the front of the arena. there I was, ringside, when the announcer said, "Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big Eastern Montana welcome to Gene Autry." The crowd goes crazy, and sure enough, out comes Autry's famous horse champion with a cowboy leaning way back. And I mean way back. And I'm thinking, wow, this is so cool. It must be a trick ride. Well, champion raced to the front of the arena, comes to a spectacular stop, hooves digging in, dirt flying, and I realized that my hero, Gene Autry, was still leaning way back. And the reason he was leaning way back was because he was tied down. And the reason he was tied down was because he was drunk. Little did I know that would be my introduction to the exciting and unpredictable world of celebrity. But I've learned after 15 years in Vegas, Gene Autry was a saint. Compared to some celebrities, like George Clooney, who come to Las Vegas and have 16 shots of tequila and think they're invisible. But they aren't. They soon find out that what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas. Why Vegas after all those years as a sports writer? Because I deeply miss the excitement of chasing international stories. There are few cities in the world that have that generate as much excitement as Las Vegas. News like Prince Harry's visit that turned into a royal scandal. Photos of Harry playing buck-naked billiards went viral. Before that, a hot tip led to an exclusive story about Britney Spears. That Britney Spears got married for all of 55 hours. Another source helped me break the story that Michael Jackson was moving to Las Vegas for a comeback bid. This job allows me to have fun, but not at the expense of others. I learned a lot from that Gene Autry experience. There's nothing wrong with having fun, whether you're at a rodeo in Montana, a nightclub in Vegas, or a graduation in Billings. Your future should be fun. That doesn't mean you won't do serious work, but you need to find the joy in whatever you do. I'm proud to say I'm nearly 72 years old and still doing what I love every day. I'm incredibly thankful for that answered prayer and this incredible life. Even those times when it got a little too exciting. I've survived not only running with the bulls in Pamplona, but the deadly riot that followed it. Then there was the monster hurricane in Hawaii, earthquakes in San Francisco and Southern California. I flew with the President of the United States, covered numerous Olympics and World Series, and met more celebrities than I could ever imagine. I've worked not one dream job, but too many to count. That Montana boy who flunked out of college and whose career possibilities seemed limited because he had one eye is incredibly grateful. I've learned many lessons along this journey. Some of them I'd like to forget, and some of them I'd like to share. Number one, pay attention to your dreams. Number two, you can do what you love and get paid for it. Number three, remember those who stood by you. Number four, dream it, visualize it, and make it happen. And most importantly, as you leave today, I hope you will march forth fearlessly. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Clark, for making us understand that whatever our job, however exciting or sometimes mundane, those lessons are the same. Visualize your dreams. You can get paid for what you love. Remember the people who stood by you. Thank you very much. I'd now like to recall Provost Pagano to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Clark, and thank you, Dr. Grosef. Now it is my pleasure to be able to award the Emeritus Faculty designation. It's an honor granted to faculty members upon retirement in recognition of meritorious service to Montana State University Billings. The recommendation for emeritus faculty status is by nomination, a nomination initiated by one's peers and colleagues and approved by the university administration and the Montana University System Board of Regents. The title of emeritus is testimony to years of excellence in teaching and exemplary professional contributions through scholarship, creative endeavors, and service to their students and the academic programs of the university. This year, we honor two outstanding emeritus awardees. First, Professor Sue Hart, awarded Professor Emeritus of English at Montana State University Billings. Next, Mr. John J. H. Shaw, awarded Professor Emeritus of Health and Human Performance, Montana State University Billings. We also have several emeritus recipients in absentia today. First, Dr. Gary Acton, awarded Professor Emeritus of English at Montana State University Billings. Professor Brian Cast, awarded Professor Emeritus of Art, Montana State University Billings. And finally, Dr. Craig V. Wilson, awarded Professor Emeritus of Political Science, Montana State University Billings. Thank you. I again call upon Chancellor Grosef.
It's my privilege to ask our faculty to rise and be recognized by all of us here. Please rise. These are the people who our students come to study with, who they learn from, and who send them forth into the world. And just as we have recognized recent awards of emeritus faculty, there are some emeritus faculty that are here with us this morning, and may I ask them to rise, please. There are a lot of moving parts in the university, and many of those are embodied by our administrative staff. And could I ask the administrative staff of the university to rise, please, and be recognized? And finally, universities have histories and go on, and they are supported and built by the alumni, the graduates who have gone before. And so may I ask all alumni in the audience, please rise and be recognized. And now let's get to the main order of the day. I'd like to recall Provost Pagano to the podium for the recognition of our graduates and the conferring of degrees.
Thank you, Chancellor Grosef. We now come to the most important part of our commencement ceremony, the recognition of our graduates. The deans will now present the candidates for their degrees. Graduates, as your college is presented by your dean, please stand and remain standing for the conferring of the degrees. First, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Marcia Riley, the Dean of City College at Montana State University Billings, who will present the candidates for certificates and degrees at City College.
Will the candidates for Certificate of Applied Science and the degrees of Associate of Applied Science and Associate of Science please rise? From the College of the Nationally Accredited Paramedic Degree Program, accredited by the National Committee on the Accreditation for Educational Programs for Emergency Medical Services Professions, and the nationally recognized Cisco Computer Networking Academy, and the College of an Automotive Technician, Diesel Technician, Automotive Collision and Repair Programs, all nationally accredited by ASE, the National Institute for Automotive Service Technicians, and the College of the Montana State Board of Nursing Approved Nursing Program, and the College of the Faculty Grand Marshal for today's commencement. Chancellor Groseth, these candidates have satisfactorily completed the requirements for certificates of applied science and the degrees of Associate of Applied Science and Associate of Science. On behalf of the faculty of City College, we proudly present them to you as fully qualified to receive their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Riley. By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor of Montana State University Billings by the Board of Regents of the Montana University System of Higher Education, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the certificates of applied science and degrees of Associate of Applied Science or Associate of Science appropriate to your preparation, with all the rights, privileges, benefits, and responsibilities appertaining. Will you please come forward to receive your certificate or degree?
Sheena Ann Amison. Allison Abby Cash. Brittany Nicole Dodd Schneider. Leslie Marie Merstel. Jerry D. Williams, honors. Michaela Irene Archuleta, honors. Alfred Areno. Jenny Nicole Benson. Landry Wade Brockle. Justin William Comley. Scott Dark, honors. Nathaniel Pine DeBatz. Jenny Denny. Stephen Carl Derby. Brian Joseph Derricks. Cody Wayne Goodman, high honors. Kathleen Denise Hanson, honors. Ashley Cheyenne Hatmaker. Megan Adriana Haudeschelt. Julie Lynn Huggins, honors. Tara Michelle Drinka, high honors. Sean Patrick Carls, high honors. Zachary Eugene Kyle. Mary Rochelle Kelly. Lindsay Ann Kellogg. Adam Christopher Kingsbury. Peter Patrick Kirby. Tanya Faye Kistler. Ashley Brianne Clausen. Keisha Ann Louise Knight. Michael Peter Coy.
I have the power!
Mandalay Lynn Kozata. Kyla Janelle Kraft. Lucius Gleason Lacey, the fourth. Tyson Christopher Lochner. Misty Marie Law. Fernando Kirk Littlebird Jr. Adam John Marmon, high honors. Jonathan Keith McKelvey. Blake Anthony Ostermer McKenzie. Dan I. McMillan. Stephanie Elaine Moore. Honors. Kenneth Dale Morse, honors. Jennifer Catherine O'Brien. Bailey Lee Osterberg, honors. Relissa Lynn Owen. Christy Lynn Patterson. Dylan Jesse Peralt. Amber Lynn Pointer. Nicole Lachelle Riddle, high honors. Tyler Thomas Sandel. Amber Rose Schneider. Shelby Lee Schneider, honors. Brian Carl Schwartz, honors. Dustin O. Sim. Philip Shelton, high honors. Kaylin Ray Sobey. Amy Lynn Solberg. Pedro Jr. J.R. Sosa. Regine Clary Sprague, honors. Janae Elizabeth Taylor. Cody Auburn Thomas. Tracy Lynn Thormalin, high honors. Matthew Augustus Tucker, honors. Heidi Grimm Waltenbach. Haley Joe Westgard, honors. Nathan Wilnow. Jesse Allen Wilson, high honors. Faith Maddie Warden. Craig James Ziegler. Sharice Dawn Zimmerman. Caitlin Rose Albrecht, honors. Christy Lee Blaine, honors. Rebecca Jean Bruner. Melissa Doreen Costow. Chelsea Joanne Hall. Kim Patrice Harrington. Crystal Holycross, high honors. Celeste Bonacare, high honors. Rachel Louisa Kyle. Okay. Jackie K. LeVay. Michelle Lou Luxmore. Melissa Ann McJunkin, honors. Robert McQueen Williams, honors. Bradley Dean Wright.
Please join me in congratulating all the graduates from City College.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Diane Doohan, Dean of the College of Allied Health Professions, who will present the candidates for degrees in the College of Allied Health Professions. Dean Doohan.
Will the candidates for the degrees Associate of Arts or Bachelor of Applied Science or Bachelor of Science please rise? You look good. Chancellor Groseth, these candidates have satisfactorily completed the requirements for the degrees Associate of Arts or Bachelor of Applied Science or Bachelor of Science. On behalf of the awesome faculty and home of Emeritus Professor Jay Shaw, the College of Allied Health Professions, I present them to you as fully qualified to receive their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Dewan. By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor of Montana State University Billings, by the Board of Regents of the Montana University System of Higher Education, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Associate of Arts or Bachelor of Applied Science or Bachelor of Science, appropriate to your preparation, with all rights, privileges, benefits, and responsibilities appertaining. Will you please come forward to receive your degree? I believe they were pausing to reflect upon the moment.
Thank you. Melinda Eva Adams. Taylor Lynn Adams, magna cum laude. Chelsea Nazim Amini Dana, cum laude. Andy David Ballinger. Jenna K. Main Blossom. Jamie Kyle Blotsky, cum laude. Dawn Therese Bouchard. Hey. Brianna Puktan Kaimerin. Carrie Ann Klump, cum laude. Thank you. Kaylee Jareen Davidson. Anna L. Denny. Barbara Jones Devereaux, cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Dyke. Ramil Kersey Goodluck. Brandy Michelle Gustafson. Tammy Lee Harper. Linda Suzanne Hayes. Jacqueline Carly Hill, cum laude. Julie Ann Hoffman. Shelby K. Holzapple. James Daniel Hook. Tina Stengel Hook. Roger Davenport Holbert. Capri Nicole Ingram. Jennifer Nicole Larson, magna cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Leichner, magna cum laude. Nicole Kimberly McDonald. Ian Frederick McMurdy. Billy Marie Magura. Joshua Christian Munsell. Giselle Pearl Perez. Stacy Lorraine Pitt. Ashley Nicole Rangich. Jamie Lee Rindall. What's the pen? Okay, I'll get you. Melissa Leah Sacken. Jeremy Reyes Salazar. Lana Mary Ellen Scott, magna cum laude. Eden Louise Soards. Kimberly Lynn Tripp, magna cum laude. Shalom Franchant Waltenbaugh. Lauren Ann Weller. Nicole Marie Wilkerson. Sarah Josephine Witt, cum laude. Accepting posthumous degree on behalf of their late mother, Connie Sue Lowe, are her children, Christy Beals, Becky Anderson, and Andy Lowe.
Please join me in congratulating all the graduates of the College of Allied Health Professions.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Tasneem Khalil, the Dean of the College of Arts and Science. But before I have Dean Khalil come forward, I need to enforce my privileges of Master Ceremony to make a short comment. On second thought, a brief comment about this Dean. Earlier this year, Dean Khalil announced that she would be returning to her first love, teaching. She will take a sabbatical in the fall to refresh her training in plant systematics and will begin a second career as a full professor of biological sciences in January 2015. She has served honorably and passionately as dean of her college for now a solid decade. Please join me in recognizing her for her outstanding service as dean of the MSU College of Arts and Sciences as she comes to the podium to confer degrees one more time.
Thank you, Dr. Pagano. Will the candidates for the degrees Associate of Arts or Associate of Science or Bachelor of Applied Science or Bachelor of Fine Arts or Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science please rise? Chancellor Grosset, these candidates have satisfactorily completed the requirements for the degrees Associate of Arts or Associate of Science or Bachelor of Applied Science or Bachelor of Fine Arts or Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science. On behalf of the most accomplished, outstanding faculty of the College of Arts and Sciences, the most significant unit of the university, and the home of the student body president, Ryan Shore, I'm very proud to present them to you as fully qualified to receive their degree.
I'm sure you are proud. Thank you, Dean Khalil. By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor of Montana State University Billings, by the Board of Regents of the Montana University System of Higher Education, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Associate of Arts or Associate of Science or Bachelor of Applied Science or Bachelor of Fine Arts or Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science, appropriate to your preparation, with all rights, privileges, benefits, and responsibilities appertaining. Will you please come forward to receive your degree?
Barbara Barrett, honors. Cara Marie Helland. Hannah Elise Orth, honors. Marissa Lou Poole, high honors. Courtney Lee Adams. Brian Logan Anderson. Teresa Margaret Anderson, magna cum laude. Sarah Rose Beaumont. Daisy Marie Balado, cum laude. Leah Marine Berry, cum laude. Jennifer Ann Beersdorf. Casey Alexander Bigelow. Elwood Thomas Bird. Sarah C. Beland. Lindsay Marie Bloom. Annette Brouts Hobson, cum laude. Grace Aaron Brookus. Melanie Catherine Butts, cum laude. Travis Mark Cady. Kathy Rose Carrette. Ray Anthony Chapa. Good job. Nicole Amber Colprin. Stephanie N. Combs. Taylor Michelle Cook. Brandon Covers Up. Christy Lynn Dulles. Bridget Marine Daly. Thank you. Holly Louise Daniels. Sherilyn Denton. Charity Ann Dewing. Enrique Esteban Diaz. Jonathan Paul Deal. Erin Beth Dotterwhite. Brandon Nathaniel Douglas. Kayla Joe Downing. Good job. Abigail Hannah Duffner. Amanda Marie Duval. Echo Marie Edwards, magna cum laude. Katie Jo Edwards. Margaret Lynn Ellis, cum laude. Kurt Allen Erickson, cum laude. Caitlin Rose Using. Reed Franklin Fosside. Rebecca Brooke Fox. Casey Jean Francisco. Kaylee J. Fryer. Lori Marie Fryett, cum laude. Heather Nicole Gochi. Amy K. D'Amato. Shelby K. Goodman. Ainsley Elizabeth Goodrich. Heidi Lynn Greenback. Drew Lewis Grover, cum laude. Lisa Guckenberger, cum laude. Donna Lynette Juana St. Clair. Brittany Elise Hogberg. Taylor Joe Heidel. Sarah Rose Hacka. Patricia Alexis Hampton, cum laude. Austin Marie Hanser, cum laude. Carlin William Hance. Brady Jordan Hawley. Larissa A. Herbert, magna cum laude. Heather Marie Herbst. Ashley Elizabeth Hickert. Philip Jeffrey Holliday, cum laude. Melissa Robin Hood. Trevor John Lewis Howard. Jill Therese Jackson, cum laude. Hannah Ray Jacobson, cum laude. Tracelyn Angelette Jarrett. Austin Sequest Ellerine Flatness Johnson. Laura Ann Johnson, magna cum laude. Stephen James Joyner. Kim Renee Justice. Marley Ann Kaiser. Chelsea Ann Kenyon, magna cum laude. Corlin Marie Kessler, cum laude. Misty Dawn Ketela. Jody Joanne Kim, magna cum laude. Alan Don Kitterman. Corey Brian Crum. Tyson L. Kuntz. Jameson Drake Legg. Jerome Preston Legg. Jacob Martin Letman. Quincy Dawn Linhart. Chen Lang. Caitlin Michelle Linder. Madeline Marie Loomis. Corey Daniel Lovick, summa cum laude. Josiah Lance Loven, cum laude. Taryn Nicole Mann. Tabitha Marie Most. Charity Marie McClelland. How are you? Ashley Ann McClurry. Holly Benoit McKenzie, cum laude. Rachel Ann McMurray. Jonathan Messna. Pearl Judea Michelson. Megan Jean Miller. Thank you. Sabrina Nevada Mitchell. Michael Anthony Montoya. Kelsey Ann Munsell, magna cum laude. Jake Clifford, music. Travis A. Newman. Thank you. Brianna Elaine Nordhagen. Douglas Scott Oltrogi, Jr. Alicia Marie Pavey. Marshall Scott Pluhar. Christina June Polkowski. Emily Mary Prouty. Shannon Irene Rinskers. Scott Harlan Reimer. Shelby Joe Rouse, magna cum laude. William D. Ryan, cum laude. Thank you. Jennifer Ann Savage. Stephanie Nicole Schaff, cum laude. Nathan Kane Shera. Julie Renee Slager. Ashley Ann Schlosser. Nicole Renee Selvig. Thank you. How are you? Tia Marie Senner. Thank you. Sydney Blake Sherman, cum laude. Kelsey Lee Shook, magna cum laude. Orota Angelina Elaine Simpson. Casey Robert Smith, cum laude. Craig Randall Smith. Kyle Ray Stroup. Jacob John Swan. Yuqing Tu. Joseph Martin Turner. Tafuna Daimantusi. Mackenzie Lee Unruh. Kirk Robert Visser. Michael Eugene Waldorf. Laura C. Walker, cum laude. Diana Elizabeth Wall, cum laude. Devon Wallace. Vanessa Marie Waller. Joseph Lee Whites. Adam Dale Wetzel. Ryan Holden Wetzel. Elijah Robert Wickenberg, magna cum laude. Jessica Renee Wicks. Jessica C. Yerger. Sining Zheng. Tessa Julie Zimmerer. Barbara Ann Jones Devereaux, honors.
Please join me in congratulating all the graduates of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Now it is my pleasure to present Dr. Barbara Wheeling, the Dean of the College of Business, who will present the candidates for the degrees in the College of Business.
Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Business Administration please rise? Chancellor Groseth, these candidates have satisfactorily completed the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. On behalf of the faculty of the College of Business, I present them to you as fully qualified to receive their degree.
Thank you, Dean Wheeling. By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor of Montana State University Billings, by the Board of Regents of the Montana University System of Higher Education, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, appropriate to your preparation, with all rights, privileges, benefits, and responsibilities appertaining. Will you please come forward to receive your degree?
Abdullah Muhammad Al-Hurba. Lisa Renee Anderson. Craig William Paul Oz. Erica Ann Austin. Bobby Jean Beard. Kelsey Marie Brennan. Ulitha Lynn Brown, cum laude. Alyssa Ray Ellen Brown. Kelsey Lauren Clark, cum laude. Lorene Seeley Clark, cum laude. Alyssa Bernice Cooks. Jesse Danger Fallon, magna cum laude. Jeremy Michael Furman. Hey, good job. Kavindu Lakeshan Gamage. Shandy Hanks. Harrison Jack Hepp, magna cum laude. Jessica Leah Hilliard. Jamie Lee Houvet. Shay R. Jensen. Chelsea Lynn Jones. Kirsten Callie Kaufman, magna cum laude. Bethany Kyler, cum laude. Ashley Tara Korf. Benjamin Elliott Korf. Caitlin Hattie Kovich. Mitchell David Miller. Mr. and Miss Richard and Sally Nixon, cum laude and magna cum laude, accounting. Unjin Park. Rustin Callie Pigar. Sarah Emily Pretty Weasel. Sarah Marie Randall. Thank you. Emily Ann Rankin, cum laude. Alyssa N. Reed. Billy Joe Rinke. Nadia Yvonne Rosales. Daniel Hauk Robert, cum laude. Austin Rue. Thank you. Callie Ray Stediger. Thank you. Adam R. Summers. Thomas Matthew Staffalino, magna cum laude. Heather Lee Staus, cum laude. Thank you. Deborah Jean Strever, cum laude. Jonathan Scott Thomas. Thank you. Sarah Elizabeth Troutman. Thank you. Thanks. Christina Megan Undum. Thank you. Abdulran Abakar. Froilan Valdez. Jacob Richard Charles Bulk. How are you? Winshan Wang. Thank you. Yuyong Wei. Thank you. Samuel J. Westerman. Cynthia Michelle Whiteman. Abdullah Mumark Mohammed. Jeffrey J.L. Wilkins, summa cum laude. Thank you. Josie Williams. Bradley Michael Wilson. Stephen Craig Wimler, magna cum laude. Hussein Yahya Aleon.
Please join me in congratulating all of the graduates of the College of Business.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Mary Susan Fishbaugh, the Dean of the College of Education. She will present the candidates for the degrees in the College of Education.
Will the candidates for the degrees Associate of Arts or Bachelor of Science in Education please rise? Chancellor Groseth, these candidates have satisfactorily completed the requirements for the degrees Associate of Arts or Bachelor of Science in Education. On behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present them to you as fully qualified to receive their degree.
Thank you, Dean Fishbaugh. By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor of Montana State University Billings, by the Board of Regents of the Montana University System of Higher Education, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Associate of Arts or Bachelor of Science in Education appropriate to your preparation, with all rights, privileges, benefits, and responsibilities appertaining. Will you please come forward to receive your degree?
Amanda Jean Bagley. Tiffany Rose Boji, cum laude. Candy Ray Bond. Kayla Janelle Bookie, magna cum laude. Mackenzie Lee Breeding. Taylor Jome Brewington, cum laude. Dalen Craig Bueller, magna cum laude. Norris Shane Cole, cum laude. Tina Marie Downing, cum laude. Kylie Marie Downs. Mackenzie Lynn Dundas. Catherine Elizabeth Epley. Adora Fisher Henderson. Michelle Renee Freeman, magna cum laude. Eric Michael Hartle. Olivia Ann Heidinger, cum laude. Megan Marie Hill. Richard Patrick Holman. Thank you. Kristen Joy Horton, cum laude. Brittany Dawn Javier. J. Neil Johnson. Olivia Mae Johnson, cum laude. Holly Dawn Klein. Paige Amelia Kramer, cum laude. Monique Maria LaCroix, magna cum laude. Esther Phoebe Landry, magna cum laude. Nicole Jennifer Lennon, cum laude. Amanda Lee Lemon, magna cum laude. Michaela Leanne Maida, magna cum laude. Caitlin Faye Matson. Caitlin Michaela Monday. Joshua Allen Munson, magna cum laude. Casey K. Maroy, cum laude. Sarah Ann Ness, cum laude. Carolyn Mary Oranger, cum laude. Rachel Lynn Perry, magna cum laude. Vanessa Hernandez Ramirez. Angela Michelle Reinhardt, cum laude. Lauren Ann Reel. Norma Romersa. Rachel Elizabeth Sines Holshauser, cum laude. Blaze L.J. Sand, cum laude. Megan Catherine Schaff, cum laude. Erica Lorraine Schwarzkopf, cum laude. Brittany Nicole Schenkel, magna cum laude. Taylor Robert Sidwell. Darcy Lynette Silbernagel. Kelly Rose Sizemore, magna cum laude. Alicia Chantel Steffen, cum laude. Jamie Lynette Stenzald. Una Marie Wallace. Miranda Ivy Warren, cum laude. Helen Lalil Weber, magna cum laude. Cassandra Marie Welch, cum laude. Naomi Insun Yakowicz, magna cum laude. Carly Ann Young, summa cum laude.
please join me in congratulating all the graduates of the College of Education.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. David Craig, the Interim Director of Graduate Studies and Director of the University Honors Program, who will present the candidates for graduate degrees at Montana State University Billings. Dr. Craig?
Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science in Athletic Training, or Master of Health Administration, or Master of Science in Rehabilitation and Mental Health Counseling, or Master of Science in Sport, Recreation, and Fitness Management, or Master of Science in Psychology, or Master of Science in Public Relations, or Master of Public Administration, or Master of Education, or Master of Science in Special Education, please rise. Chancellor Groseth, these candidates have satisfactorily completed the requirements for the degrees Master of Science in Athletic Training, or Master of Health Administration, or Master of Science in Rehabilitation and Mental Health Counseling, or Master of Science in Sport, Recreation, and Fitness Management, or Master of Science in Psychology, or Master of Science in Public Relations, or Master of Public Administration, or Master of Education, or Master of Science in Special Education. On behalf of the graduate faculty, I present them to you as fully qualified to receive their degrees.
Thank you, Dr. Craig. By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor of Montana State University Billings by the Board of Regents of the Montana University System of Higher Education, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science in Athletic Training, or Master of Health Administration, or Master of Science in Rehabilitation and Mental Health Counseling, or Master of Science in Sport, Recreation, and Fitness Management, or Master of Science in Psychology, or Master of Science in Public Relations, or Master of Public Administration, or Master of Education, or Master of Science in Special Education, appropriate to your preparation with all rights, privileges, benefits, and responsibilities appertaining. Will you please come forward to receive your degree?
Carolyn Ann Cooper. Wendy Szewski. Rebecca Dawn Fallon. Joel Clark Grinder. Brenda Daniels Neeland. Daniel Richard Matson. Lynette Murray. Haley Amber Nelson. Robert David Olson. Mindy Lynn Poré. Richard Herman Schottler. Landy Lee Searsroot. Angela Faith Ruth Kane. Joshua Mark Morley. Robert Bascom Sager II. Matthew Ryan Haskins. Matthew James St. Louis. D. Marie Stross. Karen Rose Baumgart. Kathy Ann Bjorgum. Ashley Renee Selmer. Lisa Ann Daychild. Stephanie L. Fisher. Heather Diane Horton. Linda Jean Howard. Tara Talia Jones. Christian Aloysius Lucas. Heather Ann Munsell. Anna Elizabeth O'Donnell. Jordan Jacob Weber IV. Valerie Lynn Boken. Joshua Earl Beeman. Joseph Errol Beeson. Lurie Lena Bogus. Delbert James Brumley. Dawn Serene Fox. Annette Lynn Grandolfo. Corin Kink Vanderloos. Michael William Kessler. Shauna Lee Knipp. Andrew John Miller. Tracy Lynn Pfaff Mauser. Stuart Matthew Mullins. Holly D. Moosfelt. Brandon James Osborne. David Arthur Pulis. Glinda Milgrosa Quintana. Carrie Lynn Ray. Tammy Marie Ray. Angela Marie Rowe. Clark Edward Swan. Anastasia Wambach. Erica Caitlin Wilson.
Please join me in congratulating all of our master's degree recipients. And please, one more round of applause for all of our distinguished graduates and their families who made it possible. All right, let's have one more round of applause for all these graduates. There are few earthly things more splendid than a university. In these days of broken frontiers and collapsing values, when every future looks somewhat uncertain, wherever a university stands, it stands and shines. Wherever it exists, free minds urged on to full and fair inquiry may still bring wisdom into human affairs. I want to remind each of you of the barbecue and reception back on the university campus immediately following the ceremony. And immediately following commencement, we'll be setting up for another event. Thank you for your cooperation. Will everyone now please rise for the singing of the alma mater and remain standing for the benediction and recessional. The alma mater will be performed by members of the university choir.
The Reverend Rob Kirby will now give the benediction.
We end this time of recognition and enter into lives of service with these blessings from Ireland and India. May you be granted with wisdom, granted with courage for the facing of these hours. May green be the grass you walk on. May blue be the skies above you. May pure be the joy that surrounds you. May true be the hearts that love you. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the varieties and realities of your existence, the bliss of growths, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Such is the reclaiming of the dawn. Shalom, peace.
Mm-hmm.